Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. I am your host, Nava, and today I wanted to talk about why 70, maybe even 75% of women are the ones who are filing for divorce. If you follow this channel, a lot of us know why women are filing for divorce. And also I think I'm gonna do a part 2 of why men are not filing for divorce. And a lot of us know the reason why men aren't filing for divorce also, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into these videos, and I may stop every so often to give my input and my commentary because, like I said before, I'm old and I might forget. So I might pause every once in a while to give my input, and I will be back after these videos, you guys.
Why do women file for divorce more than men do? I think it's in large part because men don't confront the situation. They disengage. So, you're going to work every day, you're coming home, there's no sex life, there's no intimacy, there's no contact with your wife. She maybe is doing all of the taking care of the kids and all the stuff around the house, and, you're just living your little life on your own little island as a guy, right? And not seeing all these other things that are going on around you. So I think probably in large part, we're just oblivious to a lot of the things that women are really in tune with.
Women don't leave unhappy marriages. They leave marriages that have left them exhausted, burnt out, overwhelmed, resentful, burdened. Like, they leave because they are done and they've been trying for years and years, sometimes decades, to make it work. Women leave marriages because they are tired of being gaslit, stonewalled, given the silent treatment, blamed for everything, told that they're the problem. Women leave marriages because they have been going to therapy or working on themselves for years and their partner refuses. Women leave marriages because they are tired of being the parent to their spouse. They are tired of carrying the mental load, the emotional load, the physical load, and serving a spouse who does not reciprocate. They leave because they've given a million chances and they don't have any more to give. They leave when they finally realize that they deserve better. They leave when they feel unsupported, undervalued, unimportant. These are just a few reasons why women leave, and they are all valid reasons.
You know that 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Do you know why? Because she is the thermostat in the relationship. I ask Shanna regularly, 1 to 10, where are we in our relationship? And she's usually really close, and she's usually a lot lower than me. Listen to your wife. If there's a theme that's coming up over and over again, do not ignore it. Do not sweep it. Because you may get to the place in 20 or 30 years where she walks away because for decades you've been ignoring her.
The reason why women check out before they file for divorce is that women usually will do everything possible in a marriage to make it work. And so if she is emotionally checked out, that means that she has lost faith in the marriage, and she no longer wants to put her soul, her empathy, her care into the marriage.
Okay, so right here, I just wanted to say that a lot of men don't have souls or empathy or care in the first place, but the ones that do have these things in the beginning, they'll stop. What I'll notice is that they'll stop having any empathy or care, or they're not concerned about their wife's feelings or well-being, but they will continue to stay in the marriage. They will not divorce the wife. They would rather make her miserable and stay in the marriage until she finally divorces. And there are many reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into that just yet because I'm going to do that in another video about the men, why they don't divorce.
Women will check out before they leave, long before they leave. So when a woman is emotionally just spent in her relationship, she will stay for a specific time frame as she's mentally preparing herself to leave. But when she finally pulls the trigger to bounce and leave, she's gone.
So would you agree that the vast majority of divorces are initiated by women?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I do know that to be somewhat of a fact.
Concerned that women are initiating more than 70% of divorces today.
Every time I hear this stat, it's so interesting because there's no backdrop to it. There's no details. It's just like women are responsible for 70% of the divorces, and therefore it's like women are the problem. But I feel like you gotta dissect this more. So First of all, if you were to put this in any other scenario in the world, let's say it's a company, and the company has 100% of its employees and it has a 70% turnover rate. You'd be trying to figure out what's wrong with this company. If it was a city, and out of all of the people who move into the city, 70% of the people continue to leave the city, you'd be trying to figure out what is going on in this city that everyone keeps leaving. So it's very odd that when it comes to the relationship dynamic, when it's seen that the gender of men are losing 70% of their women, y'all think it's the women's fault. Why isn't it the person who can't keep the other gender? Because if this were flipped and women could not keep 70% of their man, then clearly women are doing something wrong. So it's very odd that it's broken down like this. And then let's break it down further for context. Out of the 70% of the people who get a divorce, 50% of the women say that they do not desire to ever remarry, and 30% of the men say they do not desire to remarry. So out of the 70%, 50% of them do not want to remarry. That's crazy. So that marriage went so badly that half of the women who divorce don't even desire to get into another relationship that is a marriage. That's very interesting. And something I tend to hear that is the main reason that is believed that women leave is for the money, the alimony, the child support. So let's break that down too. First, the amount of Americans who make six figures or better is only 18%. So if you think they're divorcing for this large alimony, that clearly isn't the issue. That's number one. Number two, alimony in 1960 was 25%. Alimony now is 10% for women. 10% of women are getting alimony in divorces. And then when you break down the number for the divorces for the child support, 44% of people who get divorced are issued child support, and get their full child support. I apologize. 44% get the full child support that they are allotted. 30% get none of the child support that they're allotted. So where exactly is this money that you guys are speaking of that these women are stealing from you? Like, where? I'm sorry, I can't find it. Please explain.
Okay, so I just wanted to add that when it comes to this alimony and child support conversation, and as a Black woman, I hear a lot of Black men talking about this online, and I know, y'all know, and the entire world knows that Black men are at the bottom of the socioeconomic pole. They make the least money. They pay the least amount of child support. You can look up the stats of how much they pay on average. $30, $35. So a lot of them are paying $30, $35 or less. And they are costing America $50 billion a year in unemployment. So, and they're the ones that you hear complaining about alimony and child support and women taking half of everything they have the most online. So these numbers about alimony, these low numbers, I'm guessing this is including all men, but I doubt even 1 or 2% of that 10% is even including Black men. I doubt it. I haven't found the stats by race, but if we just know the other stats surrounding, alimony, child support, and spousal support, and all of that, we know that the typical Black man is not paying alimony, and he's not paying that much child support. So that's all I want to say.
A woman tells me she's getting a divorce, I'm going to say congratulations. And here's why. Because I know that this decision was not made in haste, that she has tried everything to make it work. Over the last couple days, I've talked to hundreds of thousands of women, and I've asked them, how long was it between when you emotionally checked out of your marriage to when you filed for divorce? And what was happening in between that time? And the average was 3 to 5 years of emotionally checking out before actually filing for divorce. So women don't just wake up on a random Wednesday morning and decide, you know what, I'm going to divorce my husband today. Because happy women don't leave good marriages. Happy women don't leave good husbands. Women that feel supported, women that feel safe, women that feel acknowledged, women that feel happy and loved and validated, those women aren't leaving good marriages and good husbands. The women I've talked to said that they tried and tried and tried. A lot of them said that if they thought they just worked on themselves a little bit more, they made themselves more available, they did more therapy, they tried being, more available. They tried and tried and tried to work on themselves in hopes that it would make things better in their marriage, but it didn't. It wasn't like they weren't putting forth the effort. In a 3 to 5 year amount of time, they were trying everything under the sun. They were doing individual therapy. They were trying to get their husbands in couples therapy. They talked to them. They communicated this way, that way, and the other, and they still went unhurt. I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think that men know their wives are unhappy because they've been communicated to. They've been talked to. The women have tried explaining to them how they're feeling, what they need from their partner. And I think the men simply don't care because I don't think that they ever believe that their wife will leave them. Because a lot of them are stay-at-home moms. A lot of them have no financial means to actually leave. And therefore, men just assume that they're going to be comfortable and complicit. And that women actually won't do it. And that's why we hear so many stories of men being blindsided when their wives ask for a divorce. It's not that they didn't know their wives weren't happy. They knew. They just didn't actually ever think that she would pull the trigger and leave. This is also why so many more women are filing for divorce than men. Because men can stay. Men can stay because they're still benefiting. Because especially if they have kids, the wife is still stepping up and caring for the house. She's caring for the kids. So why would a man want to leave? Why would a man want to go and get a divorce when he can just say, yeah, you might be unhappy, but I'm still benefiting from everything. And then they weaponize their support because they know that they can. So the next time a man says to you that women are tearing their families apart because they randomly woke up and decided that they wanted a divorce, send them this video.
Okay, ladies, so we have heard why women are getting divorced at the tune of 70 to 75%. And we're also going to hear why men are not getting divorced. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot of gaslighting and a lot of lying, and I am going to be sure to point out all of the lies and the gaslighting when I upload that video. But yeah, I agree with everything these women said because it's all logical, right? It all makes sense. We've all seen and we've all heard the stories from our sisters, our mothers, our aunts, our grandmas, our aunts. I said aunts already, but even you yourselves, you have experienced everything that these women have talked about in these videos, wanting to go to counseling, actually going to counseling, excuse me, y'all, I've been drinking beer because it's one of those days. I posted on my community tab, it's a burger and beer day. It's a long day at work, so I am throwing back some beers right now. But anyway, even when we do go to counseling, it's like the counselor, rather is a male or a female, a man or a woman, they're all going to center the session around what you need to be doing as a woman to make that man happy and what you need to be doing to keep that marriage alive. They always put most of the emotional labor and work on the women because I think society as a whole just knows that women are the ones who do most of the emotional labor and communication, which I don't think is fair to women because we go and we figure, they're professionals. So this is what I should do to save my marriage. And us not knowing any better, well, we do now, but back then, us not knowing any better, we would go and be like, okay, I'm going to do everything they told me to do because this society has trained everybody to target women into being the ones who are doing all of the hard work and labor in relationships. So, of course, we try it and then we continue on for years after we start the counseling thinking that it's going to get better, when the men, they leave the sessions not planning on doing any of it. They leave planning on going home and doing exactly what they had always been doing, because they've been trained up to just be men and to be worshiped by us. And they hear people in these counseling sessions telling women all of the stuff that we should do to please them and make them happy. And, you know, I'm not just saying this, I'm not just guessing. I know how this goes. We know from TV shows, we know from movies, we know from just listening and just being on this planet, you know. So that's pretty much all to this video. If you guys have been in marriage counseling, get down in the comments and let me know if this is how your sessions went, or if you were like any of the women in this video. You know, you just did everything you could to make your marriage last. You tried to hold it together for the kids because that's what he told you. You tried to overcome constant infidelity. You tried to overcome him putting hands on you because you didn't think it. Just so many situations. You had to go through the whole trad wife and finding out that he took all the money and ran off with another woman, or he moved his funds to another account under another name so you couldn't get anything, or you were just married to somebody who had nothing and you had to do all of the physical labor, the emotional. It's so many reasons why women get divorced. And when we listen to the men's reasons, you're going to see that they have the same reasons, because they don't want you to take their money. Like I said before, most of them don't have money. They're trying to hold it together for the kids. And for the most part, most of them don't even pay attention to their kids, don't even want the kids, don't do anything with the kids, just like most of them. But get down in the comments, ladies, and tell me what you think. And I will be back with a part 2, or maybe not a part 2, but a separate video about why men are not wanting to get divorced. Like, comment, and subscribe, and please share this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.